What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Bugsy Laveau.
It's the young son of a barber, Pizzo Bam Wham.
And we are 94.9 C Boys. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Today we have I feel like we always say that, but I feel like everybody that comes on the show is a special guest because
Yes,
we just
sir.
don't let anybody on the show. With that being said, we have let me see. I was
A CEO.
Actually, I was just talking to a young barber probably last week.
Yes, sir.
And this man's name came up, and he out of his mouth, his words were like, "Yo, Twin is like one of the OGs out here who definitely built the name and took it to the next level." So without further ado, Twincutz, y'all,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Sean Casey, we have him in the building.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for
Son
coming
of a
in.
barber, huh?
Son of a
Yes,
barber.
sir.
Let's go.
My dad's been a barber for 40 years in Lee County, and he retired like 5 years
Oh,
ago.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
What's his name?
David Palmer.
What shop was he doing?
It was Daryl and Dave's barbershop. It used to be on Fowler, and before then it was on
I was
MLK.
intrigued back in the day.
Yep,
Yeah.
back in the day, yep.
Oh, they well connected.
Yeah.
But so let's get into it, bro. Like, how long have you been? I know you started in New York, but how long in Southwest Florida have you started your career as a barber?
Well, I moved here in 2006.
Okay.
So I went directly from New York to moving to Southwest Florida. Worked at a barbershop called Platinum Creation
Okay.
under another old school cat, Rodney Jackson. So your dad would know who he is.
You probably would.
Yeah, so he did it. Unfortunately, he passed away from a heart problem, and I stayed at that barbershop, ran it as like a manager, learned how to actually become an owner through that just by working that shop, and then I opened up my first barbershop in 2010.
What made you want to take that jump?
I moved here in New York originally. That was my plan. First
Okay.
move in here was like, if I'm going to move from the city to come over here, I wanted to own a barbershop. So once I got here, I stayed at that shop a little bit longer than necessarily I wanted to, but it was more for the family and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, like everything else, the timing's right.
Were you thinking anything before being a barber? Like, was there
Man, I
any
wanted
other?
to be the Pharrell.
You wanted to be for real?
Yeah, that was, you know.
I noticed
love
that a lot
music.
of like barbers, they love music. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like it's a part of like, well, barbering is like a part of music culture. I was about to say music is a part of y'all culture, but I feel
Yeah.
like the barber is a part of the music culture.
Yeah, so that
So,
that
like-
was my thing. I loved music and I loved barbering,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like I got my license in '99.
Okay.
I was cutting the hair downtown. This guy walked in. He owned a company called the Lyricist Lounge. They used to have a show on MTV back in the day where they used to do skits
Okay.
and rhyme, improv.
That's original.
And they were dropping part 2. That song "Oh No" with Nate Dogg, Mos Def, and Pharoah Monch was like their
Way
hit
back in the
single.
day, bro.
Right. So that was like, I remember going to their release party, hanging out with them. I was working as an intern for that company, was in the studio. It used to cut like Slick Rick.
Damn, so
like-
you a deep.
yeah, man. There was like all those artists that were coming in and stuff, Common, Talib, you know, just that whole scene, Erykah Badu. And it just, I was, one summer I was like, man, I'm gonna get into this music. But then I realized like, it's fun, but I'm not good enough. I can't waste my life anymore.
What you mean like not good enough? Like what part were you doing? Were you a
The
producer or
production
rapper?
part, like
Okay,
just the
okay.
production part. So I was doing it, you know what I mean? Like I put a summer in and stuff. Maybe could have.
Cause like that can be pretty lucrative, couldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I was also a realist.
Okay.
You know, because I got some of my people that they 40 years old right now and they still trying to be a
trying
rapper.
rap. We was
You
just
know?
talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I think that the choice I made when I was like, yo, now it's time to move on and do what I need to do and come out here and just focus on like, yo, I'm blessed with my hands. Let me stick with that.
Yeah.
And be a barber, and you know, the rest
It
is
was
history.
cool that you was able to like check yourself. Is there anybody like that's in your corner that gives you advice or anything, or is it like you have to learn as you go?
I learned from a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I never really had a mentor in hair. Music, it wasn't really behind me. Like I had a buddy, Anthony Marshall. He owned the Lyricist Lounge. He was always like a big brother to me. So he gave me a lot of insights, and you know, he even put me onto like my first show where I was like really like Pharrell, had a little hook. There's a song on
Okay.
iTunes. I'll put y'all
Ready
on
to
later
sell.
to it.
Yeah.
That it sounds way dated, but he got me to do Club Dream in Washington D.C. back in the
Damn.
day, and did it. And then at that moment, I realized, like, brother, I gotta figure something else out.
Yeah.
You know?
So fast forward, right? So you moved to South Florida, you open your own shop, but
Yeah.
now in this present day, you would say you have 5, right?
Yeah, I got
total
five
shops
right now. Yeah.
Yo, what made you want to do that, right? Because I know a lot of barbers, they open up, they got their one shop, but I always hear like how hard it is to open up more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so what made you want to take it to? Would it be kind of like? Would it be like a franchise, like
Like
kinda,
scaling, just
yeah.
scaling my business. I mean, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm just moving.
Yeah.
Like if it turns into a franchise, it turns into a franchise. If it turns into people investing, then that's what it is. It's right. Like I don't really even think of it that much. I just want to keep moving and protect myself from, I would say, fear, man. Fear of being like that 60-year-old dude pushing carts at Publix because I got too old cutting hair and, you know, talking about what I used to do. You know, like anything you break down, like you come in a barbershop and I'm that 55-year-old barber and this dude's cutting hair at his age now. You walk in, you're going to see young and old. It doesn't care about my history. You're going to sit with him. So my clients are going to slow down. My money's going to slow down. So originally when I just opened up my first shop, I had no plans of opening up my second shop. What happened was, you know, I just went in there. It was 2010. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's not gonna make it. Recession." He's
that's true. That's true.
Falling.
Like the first year, barbershop would like fail. So like, that's great.
Everybody was. But I, you know, my passion, man.
You stick
like,
with
at
it.
the end of the day, like, you know, what you can tell me I failed, but you can't tell me I can't go to work 2 hours earlier before the day starts or leave 2 hours later. So,
that's
you know, as long as I paid that bill, that was my agenda. I wasn't going to let it fall. And it was tough. Like 3 months into it, I was like, oh, man, this shit's going to fail. And, you know, and little by little, people started coming in. Then FGCU kids started coming in. I had a $10 Tuesday at the time. I was one of the first that did my barbershop where I really, like, put pride into making it look a little different than a lot of the graffiti on the wall, station and mirror barbershop. So I put some money into it. I went on an intersection that was a lot of traffic. And like I remember the soccer team coming in from FGCU and cutting them up. And then like the next following Tuesday, I was like, wow, we're crazy. And then the basketball team was coming in. And then
it was happening through like word of mouth.
Like that school just spoke. When I first started was like 2010 was like the end of MySpace. So I was like, I started my business.
Transition.
Right. So I started my first shop promoting on MySpace, but maybe into like 9 months into my first year, I switched over into Facebook. But them kids, however they heard about it, I did a commercial on TV. I invested my money. Like, I remember taking my money and investing into the radio station. Like, even when I didn't have it, I was like, yo, whatever I make, I got to market. I think that's, like, the biggest thing. Like, you got to spend money to make money. So I wasn't looking at the present day right now. I was like going behind on my debt on my car. Like, I had a car I had to pay for, so that was banging my credit bad. Like, but I was like, man, I just got to get the word out there. And them kids came in, basketball came in. Next thing I know, they go to the Sweet 16. And all of a sudden, it's like they're Dunk City. And I'm like the barber of it. And I do a
right
haircut on the center, right? So and it went viral. ESPN, USA Today, Yahoo, Daily News, everybody's hitting me up. And it was like that pushed more. And that's right around that summer, I'm like, man, I got to go into my next shop. And that's how I got into my next shop.
So that's how you open your second shop.
Yeah, man.
Did you do anything different with the second shop?
My approach to how getting it open, I knew some shortcuts. The first time I was driving downtown, back across, I was going to Henry Street, down the street over here. Then I had to go across to this state to get this property permit, to get this zoning. Like I was just driving all over the place. So I figured out, you know, all right, go to sunbiz.org, start a barbershop. They break everything down and what you need to do. So it created a little bit easier. And by that time, well, Sunny, my second location is in the Gulf Coast Town Center. And that was my first shop I wanted to get. That was the first location I wanted to get in. And they wouldn't even have a meeting with me.
Damn, really?
Nah, man. Like they were.
Why is that?
They were like, we have 5 shops. They were like, we have sports clips, great clips, hair cuttery, and something else. And I said, well, I'm a barbershop.
Yeah, they don't tell it to everybody.
They're more like really like a salon. They can't use razor blades. I'm like, I want to do like just a men's barbershop that's going to cater to like this. I wasn't even thinking students then. I just wanted a barbershop that does shaves. And they wouldn't even sit with me. I didn't even have a meeting. And fast forward, I get my first shop. I got the shop. The reason I chose my first location because I lived down the street. And I was like, yo, this area looks like it's going to grow. I might get it for a good deal. Got that deal. Popped off. Got barbers. FGCU started banging. I was like, I better open up again. Let me check out and go to FGCU again and then go to Gulf Coast because someone else is going to do it and I'm going to lose. I'd rather lose my competition to myself. So the barbers that were working there, we already had the area locked down. So they were getting money. So we were going to lose the college students. But as soon as I opened up that location, I started with 10 barbers off rip. So I don't think I would have been able to do that the first time. And I was making money like right away. And when I went to the leasing office 3 years later, because I think, it was 3 years later after my first one, I call up.
Okay.
I'm looking to open up a shop. I own a business now. And he's like, are you looking to move or expand? I said, expand. He said, come in.
Damn.
And that changed. So
That's
from
what
the
you
dude
wanted,
being on
yeah.
the shop, like trying, and the crazy part about it is the same location, unit 140 of the Gulf Coast Town Center before anybody had it. It was a vanilla box. I mean, nobody was ever occupied this building.
Yeah.
5 businesses in 3 years went out of business, but it had track lights, it had the walls, it had the floor in already. Saved me a lot of money opening it up.
Wow.
So I got in and I'm like, yo, I'm down to sign this 10-year lease.
Damn.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
So I've been in business for 5.
What do you think it changed, like, from them first denying you to, like, now?
I think just the fact that I did have a shop and saying that I was expanding. Once
Just
they said
things to
you're
show for it.
expanding, and then I showed them like all the news press articles.
You built up to it, yeah.
Right. I was like, yo, look, this is ESPN. They featuring FGCU, and I'm the barber for that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it was a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah, they were like, okay, well, these 4 other businesses ain't working right now. We're giving you a shot. And, man, it's been, I'm still there.
All right, so you going through all this success. We call it success. You going through all this success.
Nah, it is, bro.
You got, like, about 5 shops.
Yeah.
And then roughly, about a year and change ago, is when you got diagnosed with lymphoma, right?
Yeah, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, yeah, man, like, yeah.
And what is that?
Yeah, break that
So
down.
that's blood cancer.
Okay.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, excuse me. So, yeah, man, like I'm working out. I'm feeling good. Shops is moving.
Yeah, you was kind of like fit in here. Like,
I was fat. I'm a little fat right now. Man, all these cameras right now is good. Not doing me
You got a
justice.
little muscle mass on you.
But that's flab right there. But
Nah, that's mass, bro. Don't
no,
say
but
you
I
so
was
short.
getting in there, man. I used to keep, so put it this way. I was like pretty healthy. I was like turkey breast.
I remember our last interview. You was like in shape.
Yeah, thank you, brother. So but now made me feel like shit. No, but no. Yeah, I was working out. I was taking care of my body. Having fun. I had 4 shops at that time.
Okay.
So I didn't even have my 5th shop. And I'm driving to the gym January 1st. I touch my neck. I feel a little marble on my neck.
Damn.
And I go home. I'm
So
like,
that's where it happens, like at your neck.
right here. This
Okay.
one happened for me. A lot of people, it's right on the right side. You'll see a little bit lump.
Checking my
You
neck
better
right
check,
now.
brothers. Check the lymph nodes.
Does that have any
Check
relations
the
to
lymph
like
nodes.
tumors or anything?
It could, yeah. There's little tumors. So it's like a lymph node, when you fight, like got a sore throat, you know how it swells up? It's fighting the disease,
Yeah.
and then it goes away. If they don't go away, like within 2 weeks, you got to check. So I got it. Go to my school. I'm teaching, subbing at my school. I asked one of my barbers or one of my students. He's like, yeah, I get them all the time. They go away. I asked my trainer at the gym, and I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, maybe it's your diet and so forth. And then I see another big one happen on my neck. Then I got a big one on the back of my head. And then I started getting them, around and talked to my grandfather. I'm like, yo, I don't know, but I have these weird bumps. And he's like, do you have a practitioner? I said, not really. There's a guy I see, but he won't even look me in my eyes. Like, he's that, oh, you got a cold? Okay, see this doctor, see that doctor. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. I need somebody that can relate with me.
Right.
So I went to this Millennial, I think it was, on over by Gulf Coast. And he was like, yo, see the practitioner. She's real cool. She's my age, young lady. I was 38 then. So she was my age. I tell her about it. She touches my neck, and like the expression on the face, that's one of those things I'll never forget. She steps back. She goes, what I want you to do is to get an x-ray right away. I'm going to set you up. I want to do a lot of blood work.
Yeah.
Also, here's my personal number.
Yeah.
She's
Damn.
like, if you feel anything or whatever, shoot me a text. I get off. I work these 3 days. I get off at this time. I got kids, so you just shoot me a text. Even if I'm busy, I'll make sure I see you.
She dope for that. That's
So
real
I was
dope.
like, oh,
Yeah.
You're like,
okay.
oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, yo, it's about to get real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the next thing I know, I do the blood work, or I do the x-ray. They do it. It's called a CAT scan. So they got to see if you got swollen lymph nodes. And I got swollen lymph nodes all throughout my body.
Yeah.
So the next thing was all through my upper body. Next thing is the PET scan. The PET scan's where like you put all this crazy metallic juice into you and you're supposed to glow.
Yeah.
And I'm still traveling, doing my thing. In the back of my mind, I knew it, but I didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing my journey. Like I go out, I cut Les Brown's hair. I win an award for Small Business of the Year. I'm doing all these things.
Damn.
Jackie Bradley Jr., the Red Sox, comes in, gives me a jersey, talks about me in the community. I'm posting all these things. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm about to get this surgery in my system. And
Yeah.
and get the process started. But I didn't want to show all that. But I'm going. Originally, I'm coming back from Las Vegas. I get the phone call. I'm literally boarding. Group number 1, come on. I'm group 4. I get the phone call, and it's her. And she's like, I just wanted to call you right away without them calling, but I'm sorry, but, like, your whole body's glowing. And I'm like, what's that mean? She's like,
he's Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it's like, you're, like, probably got lymphoma. I'm like, what's that? Cancer? And it's like, yeah. And I'm like, wow, I'm about to fly home 7 hours right now. And in my mind's like, I'm playing gospel music in my head. Like, I'm flashing my life. I'm like, I'm thinking, cancer, you're dead.
That's
you know what I mean? So I'm like, my son's just graduating high school. My daughter is, how old was she then? 4.5 years old. Damn. She's just starting, kindergarten. And I'm like, damn, my daughter's starting this. I'm not even going to see her grow. And in my mind, and I'm sitting through that. But at the same time, kind of, I got all those tears. I'm sitting, I'm wondering, the dude next to me on the plane must have been this emotional motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? But for real. So it got real, man. And I got set up to get the surgery. And when I dropped that photo, like the day before, everybody sees me cutting Les Brown. Those that don't know, he's a big time motivational speaker. And so, they see me doing that. I'm getting a lot of likes. The next day they see me in the hospital. Hey guys, I'm letting the cat out, and all of a sudden, like everybody's showing love. And I did that on purpose because it was like, man, no, we all got troubles, but don't let it. Just because you got troubles, you can't stop living life and stop feeling sad for yourself. And that's where I went with it. And then on top of that, I had a lot on my mind because, didn't have insurance at the time. And I always had insurance. And with a change of president, we were in that gray area. We got this plan where you're making money and they want to move it to this area. So I was paying like $230 a month on insurance. I call up during enrollment. They're like, yo, $550. I'm like, okay, what's the other plan? There is no other plan. I get off the phone. It's December 31st. Type out penalty at the end of the year, $600 penalty. I'm like, all right, cool. I went to the doctor 2 times last year. I usually go to the chiropractor. My chiropractor didn't even take insurance. He, it's like $40. I'm good money. So I'm like, 20 days later, I touch my neck, done.
That's how it happens, bro. Same thing happened to me. Kind of same thing. Like, I was on insurance, and then I barely use it, so I was like, let me get off of it. And literally, like, I got off of it, and then I fucking had to go for this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I'm spending all this money. I'm like, bro, last year, I ain't even go like 1 time, and I'm going like 5 times this year. That's how it happens, bro.
It is, man. So, like, literally, like, at that point on, I'm have no money for insurance. And now, since I got the diagnosis from the doctors and pre-diagnosis, no one's going to accept me. So I have to get, my doctor's like, okay, you in stage 3 and very close to stage 4. Stage 4 is into the brain. So then it's like a wrap. Or if it goes into bone marrow, then it gets serious. So I'm like, I'm going through it. And then the hospital turned me down. I need to get it done. They say, yo, you need $10,000. You don't have insurance. In order to get the port that's going to give you chemotherapy to survive, we need $10,000.
Yo, that's a whole nother conversation I want to have.
That's a whole nother.
That's so messed up, man.
It's crazy. So this is how real it is. So now I go home.
And that's like across all hospitals?
That's just how it is. If you ain't got insurance, man, it gets real. So I go home. I call up one of these short term. I'm going to say it on camera, but whatever. They deny me anyway, so it is what it is. But I go home, I type in insurance. All they're giving is short-term policies because we're not in enrollment period anymore. That's how it is right now. So from October to December 31st, if you don't get it from that time, the only thing they don't offer individual insurance no more. So I just, whatever the average one, it was like Chubb Insurance or something like that. It was funny because when I used it for the doctor, they're like, what is this, car insurance? For real, it was like that lame, but whatever I need to do is like, have you been pre-diagnosed? Did you see a doctor for this? No. Whatever.
Yeah.
They printed out the card. I called them up. Got myself through that door. I got that surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like 5 months later, after the investigation, they canceled everything. So I was like, I'm still like in about $150,000 in debt from that. But make my money. Yeah, for sure. And I'm making, I pay my monthly, whatever you can afford.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and as long as you pay a little bit of like that, do what you need to do. But I met the right people and stuff. Actually, Les Brown's assistant, her name is Dr. Cheryl.
Right.
If you guys need it too, she got me right, put me in a plan, got me through chemotherapy, got me through everything. And then the year went round, and they can't deny you from pre-existent, from from October came. So she got me with an incredible price that I'm paying now, and I'm going through the motion. Even got, you know, my back surgery and all that stuff. So
what kind of treatment did you have to have?
I had to do a thing called R-chop. And chemotherapy is it's like a cocktail.
Real quick, for those that don't know, break down exactly what chemotherapy is.
So chemotherapy is poison.
Okay.
That kills cancer cells.
Okay.
So there's so many types of cancers, right? So it's like some people get tumors on their body. Mine was blood, so mine was facilitating through my blood, and the lymph nodes were swelling up trying to fight the cancer, but they wouldn't go away because it couldn't beat the cancer.
Right.
So the type of chemo that I had to get was injected through my jugular and pumped out through my heart.
Okay.
And that was the reason why I lost, I was already bald, so that was a good part about it. Yeah. But I lost my beard and my eyebrows and some other areas that was pretty good. You know, I ain't complaining about the. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't complaining about that, but no, that because it killed all the cells and any reproduction cells, because that's the way it was doing in the blood. So mine was called R-chop, which was like Rioxin and a few other names that are all medical.
Yeah.
But say somebody else had breast cancer, which was a tumor or something, they'll have to cocktail whatever chemo was. So the chemo is going through my body and it's killing all the bad cells, but at the same time it can't diverfer. I can never get that word out, but cannot tell the difference between the good cells and bad cells.
So it's just killing everything.
So it's killing everything. So I had to do 6 of them, which was like super extreme.
Makes you weak and
right. So the first one is like, yo, you're good, and then day 4 through day 8, you're like, oh my god, what took it was like fatality, you know, it took the soul out. Then you're good and like, oh, I can't handle it. But as each time they do it, your other good cells don't have enough time to rebuild. That's why for mine they had to do it every 3 weeks. Some people got to do it every week.
Right.
And you know, I was good. I was working still. I was like,
yo, you were still cutting. I remember you told me that.
I did. I mean, like my Instagram, shameless plug. But if you go to my Instagram, you know, and you watch from March of 2018, you'll see I get like my chemo treatments was on Wednesday. Yeah. Thursday I was in the shop. But I mean, I wasn't working like from 9 to 7 anymore. I was maybe going from like 10 to 1, and it was slowing down. But I was staying busy. I even went to, while I was on it, I educated in London, Vegas, and Atlanta.
A hustler,
you know,
for real.
and I went to Atlanta and I'm shaking, and I go there and my body just, I'm eating breakfast and my whole body just drenched with water, and I didn't know what was up. And I did this whole performance in front of 3,000 people for this big showcase we did, and they actually did it on me. Like the company did it on like the trials of as a barber going through cancer, and I did that, and I came back, and you know, they were like, you have a high tolerance of pain and stuff, so they couldn't tell. So I didn't know. I got to tell. I was raised by my grandparents, so you know, like unless you was bleeding with a broken bone or something, you wasn't going to the hospital. It was Robitussin and Dimetap. That cured everything. So I'm like, man, it's hot, it's cold. I wake up in the morning, throw water on me, and I tell my girl, I was like, yo, can you bring me my thermometer? I said, I don't feel good. This was after my 5th one, so I was leading to my 6th. And I'm looking at my daughter, and I tell her for the first time, I say, yo, I think I'm dying. Damn. And she's like, yeah, right. You just. I said, no, I don't feel good.
Right. And
she gives me a thermometer, and I have 104-degree temperature. So I was sitting with that for like 5 days, just in the bed, like trying to like, oh man, this ain't feel right. Rushed to the ICU, pumped me with fluids. I took a picture of that. That thing kind of like had crazy views on it. Everybody's reaching out, talking to me like it was my last day. If you look at that photo, my eyes were bloodshot because I was fighting to keep them open, looking at my daughter, because I felt if I closed them, they weren't going to open anymore. But the fluids helped, you know what I mean? Made me push through. And no, actually, I left Atlanta, that chemo that day, and that 6th one put me in the ICU. Then after that, they put me on that like house arrest. I had to wear a mask, and I really couldn't go to work. And that was it, man. Yo,
but during this whole time, you're like documenting this stuff. Like I remember you doing like little videos and like I remember watching them, man. I thought that was real dope. I thought it was good to see, you know, your fight, you know, per se,
for
like
sure.
How hard you were fighting it and how you were still going about your day and how you were still trying to, you know, live a normal life, you know, so to speak.
Right. I was doing a lot of those videos for myself though. Like it was like like I was talking and I was just kind of like giving it to myself. Like I was like, I need to say it, but a lot of people were like reaching out like, damn brother, like I feel you. And I was getting people like, my daughter's going through this and thank you. I showed her the video and sister, and like once you get it, it's like a fraternity, bro.
Yeah,
like you start hearing
yeah.
everybody starts sending you things. You start talking. It's like, you watch the NFL and they wear the pink gloves and everything, and you watch and you're like, oh yeah, breast cancer, but
now you feel it.
You don't really have it, so you're like, oh okay, cancer. It's what it is. You don't quite get it, but then you go through it. Like you meet somebody, you give them a hug, like brother, like hey, I feel you. That is no joke, man. I put it this way, the cancer is like. It is what it is until it gets to the point where it messes you up. It's the medication that really hurts.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. Like, what's the worst part about it?
That's the part that really like beats you up, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my little brother, my baby brother, he had he caught leukemia. He was
same family. Mine is the same family as leukemia.
He was young too. He was probably like 4, bro. And he was doing the chemo. He was doing all that stuff, bro. So like I know about like I never had it, but just. Him being a kid, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation showed a lot of love. They would take us to like trips and stuff. Yeah. So I know it's like really like a fraternity, like everybody like.
For sure. And then, it's so bad. Like, we all got people that we care for and we may not care for. Yeah. Right? But my worst enemy, I may want him to go broke and fuck you, go broke for your finances. I would never wish that on my worst enemy. Yeah. Even if you did me wrong, like I wouldn't want you to go through because it affects not only you, but like your family around you, your children and stuff. And that was like me to go in my house and keep a smile on my face. That's why I did a lot of the things that I did. It was like, one, to be transparent because I knew a lot of people paid attention to what I did. So in a way, I was doing it for myself. But at the same time, I figured, hey, you know what? If he's doing it, it's believable. It's achievable. Yeah. And then I'm going home and I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to die tomorrow, I want them to say, Dad pushed. Yeah. Dad didn't go in there and sit and complain. I was coming up with that term, be better, be bitter. It was like, you know what I mean? And it was the truth. Like, do I sit back and just be like, oh man, this sucks, or just get up and do a little bit each day, whatever I could do, and keep a smile. And that was the hardest thing: keep a smile on my face and do what I need to do. But at the same time, I was like, this really sucks. One of the things that hit me, like really hit me. Was my son knew about it when I told him, but he's a real reserve. So he was just like, he would watch me, and one time he's like, so what kind is it? What stage is it? When he asked me what stage it was, I was like, okay, you're researching it. But you're keeping up spirit. Yeah. So when my beard fell, I've had a beard since I was 12 years old. That was my, my thing, right? Your baby. Yeah. And I'm washing my face, and like a Christmas tree. Like I'm talking after the first treatment, they put it in you. I'm like, every day I'm like, okay, I'm good. And literally, I think there's a picture of me at the Minnesota Twins park cutting the Miracle. Full beard. That same day, I go home and I take a shower because I'm in the dugout. I'm cutting in the super hot, and I wash my face. I go like this, and like a Christmas tree, the whole middle of part of my beard was in my hand. For real. Like that. And I was like, and man, that was tough.
And that was from the medicine?
That was a medication because it was killing all those reproduction cells.
So like the medicine is really like just, what is it, just poison?
It's straight up poison.
It's poison.
It's straight up poison.
So why is that? Because I see things around the internet that's flowing like after Dr. Sebi's death and all that, like all the healthy alternatives and stuff like that. So
that will work too because I did that at the same time. But I was
how effective was that compared to like the medicine though?
Well, I did both because I was so deep in the game. Maybe if I was stage 1, I would have been like, let me give myself 6 weeks quick and try to beat it through the holistic ways. But I was like very close for it to coming into my brain. So I did that, but at the same time, I followed that path of what CB did by alkalining my body, stopped eating meat, water, alkalining my water and all that. Because I figure like if the chemo is going to kill my body, well, keep your body keep it strong enough through the nutrients that were in it. Right. So it did help. It definitely kept me strong enough. And I say anybody who's going through it, you know what I mean? Change that diet, even if you're on the medication, because the medication alone can really is gonna kick your ass.
Yeah. So. Nah, my mom she was real adamant on that. Like, so when my brother's going through it, she would research like what foods would help, and she would just cook that, and she would just make that, and she would just have all of us eat it, because it was because she, like you said, like that chemo shit, like it literally kills, like little by little deteriorates your body. So
everything. I'm still in pain, bro. Yeah, like I'm still like I got joint pains and stuff. I'm like I feel like I'm 60 years old, man. Real talk. Like I'll get up and I have moments. Each day I get stronger. My stamina gets stronger as I got away from it. But I'm the type of person that I just had to work. Once I got in remission. So after my 6th treatment, I did my PET scan. They said you're in remission. Hell, the doctor loved me. This lady had that face, like like those people that just look like they don't care. She just had that like whatever, that bulldog grill, you know, but loved me. Like, she come in, she felt the soft side, and when I was done, she goes, yo, you're like an inspiration here. Like, I've never seen anybody, like, I was negotiating with her. Like, all right, so my chemo's on Wednesday. You think I can move it this way because I'm going to be working in Vegas that weekend? And she was just like, I've never seen nobody really just like work all the way through it, did it, and you push through it. Yeah. And I did it, and I started working and went back into the shop. I was like, okay, I could do like 3-4 haircuts today. I'm feeling better. Yeah. Oh, okay, let me start traveling. And then right when it was done, I was like, January hit, and I was traveling every weekend up to March. I'm in New York. I'm like, damn, my back hurts really bad. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, chiropractor working with me. I'm like, he's like, something's up. We did an x-ray. He's like, you got degenerated disc disease.
Because of the chemo.
Because of the chemo. So it started tearing. So the discs in my spine started herniating and started breaking down.
And the disc didn't come from the surgery. That's like,
this was from the medication because it's sucking like through the bone marrow, through all the medication. It's all different things that it's doing. Mine was killing the white reproduction cells. So it would kill the white blood cells. Then they would put other things inside of me to pull from the bone marrow to give me white blood cells. And little by little would cause the aches and pains. There was times where I was like gripping on my pillow because my hip was hurting me or I was just walking. But now I'm feeling better. And I still, like right now, my neck hurts. But it's not herniated. So I just do some physical therapy on it. But my back was done, and that was because in 2010 I got in a car accident, so that was already beaten up. So the fact it was beaten up, all my discs that were solid got beaten up a little bit. The ones that were hurt took effect. So one really slipped out, but again, try to get the surgeon and go through the insurance. I mean, I couldn't walk from March, and when I did a post saying, hey, I'm sorry, I can't even cut hair, it's because I couldn't walk. When I worked with chemo, I could walk, so I worked through it. Couldn't even walk, and I went from like March all the way to May to get my surgery, to get that done. So then I had to get emergency back surgery, and then I was out for 6 weeks, and you know, that was about a month and a half. That was about 2 months ago. So I had my surgery.
Oh, that was recent.
Yeah,
and you still in the recovery process?
It only took 6 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, now I'm getting into pool and swimming and trying to get some movements back and stuff like that. But even with that, like after my 3-4 weeks, I was supposed to sit for 6 weeks. I was up. Third week walking around. Fourth week I was starting to get back to doing things. I just can't be down, bro. It drive me crazy. Drive me crazy.
My bad, go ahead.
No, I was thinking about like just you telling me everything that you did. I felt like you kept like that mental health like strong the whole time, and I feel like that's important because like the moment you just start feeling defeated, that's when I feel like it happens like quickly as compared to like you just still living life. You still, like you say, keeping your body strong enough.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got like two options in life. Like real talk. Like you can complain about it and feel sorry for yourself, and just say, "Hey, this is what it is. What do I need to resolve it?" I think a lot of that also the mindset was, you know, looking at the smaller things in life, like just like a palm tree blowing in the wind was like, yo, that's pretty dope now, you know what I mean? Yeah. Kids doing small things, learning like, okay, I can't always be the workaholic and stuff, and just incorporating that, and man, it is heavy mindset, man, and I'll lose track for a second, but also being a business owner. Where when I first started as a business owner year one and the barber left for whatever reason, and in my mind I'm like, oh my God, I got a bill, this was not the right time for him to leave, or my AC breaks and I got to come up with $2,000, and I used to be like, oh bitch, this, you know, and I'm complaining, and then year three comes in ownership and somebody leaves. I'm like, all right, that's part of the process. Oh, this breaks down. You know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna have my other AC is gonna break down. You get used to it. So now instead of complaining about something I had no control over and had to be done, was like something bad happens. What's the solution I gotta do? So that's how I approached it. Like when I was doing chemo, I remember I was like, yo, you seem so calm. You about to get surgery and stuff. And my mind says like,
got no choice.
This is what I gotta do. You know, like I can't show it. Like in deep down inside, I'm probably like, yo, this is, you know, I'm human. But in my mind, I was just like forward, like, all right, so today is day one, chemo, all right, and that's how I just pushed. It was just like, all right, the solution is, this is what I got, just get through today, work for tomorrow, and that goes back to, hey, are you franchising as a barbershop and everything? It's like, this is what I got now. Tomorrow the opportunity comes, the right environment comes, Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of it. But wherever it goes, because none of that's really, promised.
You
At the end
apply
of the
that
day,
in both aspects.
Yo, when you were going through all this stuff, you had these shirts, and I think a hat too is like Fade Cancer.
Yeah,
Did you start that, or that was somebody else?
No, I started that. I
thought it was real dope,
I came
man.
up with that. So my idea was like, it goes back to I didn't have money for medical bills.
Right.
So I didn't want to, yo, do a GoPro. Everybody know a GoFundMe. And everybody was like, yo, do it, do it. And I'm really prideful about that. Like, I didn't want to ask people for money. And also in the back of my mind, yes, I own multiple shops, but I'm far from rich.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like Dame Dash. He says, every time I got 30K, I'm always broke because I take my 30K and I invest it into something else.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of it. Yeah, I have multiple shops, but not all my shops are filled with
bills.
barbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, not all of them are, some are doing better than others. That's just the way it is. It's a balancing act. So I'm not living here,
right about that.
in a yacht. I'm taking care. I got a lot of bills. If I was rich, I'm not going to work. But it put me in a situation where I was able to get sick and glide through it. But long story was that people gonna look at me, yo, GoFundMe, bro, we got 5 shops. That's the first thing they're gonna say without the understanding of it too.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna give me the pity or whatever. So my thing was, all right, cool. What can I do to create the awareness of it? And it was the Supreme logo that I saw on it. It looked pretty dope. I seen other people doing like Savage and other names. So I was like, yo, that looked pretty dope. Time. And I was like, okay, cancer, fade away cancer, fade cancer. Then put the barber pole. I put my SC logo into it. I printed them up. I did a little campaign, and I'm like, all right, shirt costs about $5.50, $6 to print up. I'll sell them for $25. I'll use the money to start paying for my medical bills, and I'll take $5 from every shirt, and I gave it towards a small local business in Atlanta that was Hairstyles for Hope, where for people that actually are going through it and can't pay their phone bill and stuff, they'll take some of the money and help people like that. And then I got a big soft part for kids, so St. Jude Children Research Hospital.
Yeah, sure.
So I would take some of my money and I would just send it to them as well. So $5 out for every shirt I was giving towards something. $15 I was using towards my medical bill. The other $5 was covering the cost of my shirt. And even my company was like, yo, we're going to do a GoFundMe. And I'm like, nah. Because GoFundMe is like, you start today, here's the ending date, people send you money, but then where does it go from there?
Right.
You know what I mean? So the industry, we're like a $6 billion industry just for men alone, just in the barbering world alone. So now I'm working in the industry and a lot of top brands, and I know a lot of people that would be down to support it. And I put it up there, and I was selling shirts all the way from like to Kazakhstan. I thought only like Borat worked there. Or lived there, So it was crazy. Toronto, London, people are showing it, Amsterdam, all throughout the United States, and I'm making it's a good money, and they still wearing it, and I'm still like I'm on a 20 city tour right now, and I bring my shirts out there and I talk about my situation, and it's not like just a GoFundMe where it's where does it go? People are rocking fake cancer, and it's like, yo, my mother, my brother, that's dope. Even the ribbon, you can color the ribbon. The ribbon color, that's what type of cancer it is. So someone's going breast cancer, they could do it pink and stuff. So and I partnered up with another barber in the industry who beat it twice as well because he had a good awareness. So I got around people that were doing it just to create more awareness about cancer. And we're a hair industry, we get around so many people, so it shows they can invest, and the money's going towards helping others, man. So
where are you now with lymphoma?
I'm in remission right now.
So what is remission?
Remission means like it's asleep at the moment. It doesn't necessarily always it's not supposed to cure, but like you said, those holistic ways of Dr. Sebi and all that stuff, they know how to flush your blood out, or any type of cancer. If you follow that strict diet through discipline, you can be cured. So I'm on that a little bit. I've fallen off, to be real. I had the back surgery. I needed a burger every now and then. I needed some chicken wings and just some comfort food. But I see it's a reflection. My recovery weight definitely caught up, you know what I mean? So I know I need to get back on it. But it's in remission, meaning it's dormant at the moment. I did my test just a few weeks ago. I had surgery last Monday, and they took the Metaport out of me. The Metaport was the actual, my Iron Man tool that they stuck in my body.
All this is happening right now, and you just moving like nothing just happened.
Yeah,
you said that just happened last Monday?
Yeah, last Monday I got it taken out. Wow. I was in the surgery Monday, so check this out. I did surgery Monday, stayed awake for the surgery, and had my son drive me to Boca Raton at nighttime, woke up and did a 3-hour class from 9 to 10, 11, 12 o'clock, and did my class. And that's on my social media, so I'm not even talking about it like it's documented, bro.
I'm not grinding hard enough. That's what I gotta get it, bro.
I did my class. I'm talking. You know, I slide it in there like I do. I do my production. I get everybody respect me for my education and teaching, because I love teaching, bro.
Yeah.
Like I do. That's a passion of mine to travel around. But in the meantime, you know, everybody got that. Hey, you know, I got a headache. I don't want to get to work today. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So then I start asking people like, yo, how do you feel it, this and that, and like especially that show last week was like, well, 12 hours ago I just had surgery and I'm here today, and everyone's like, yo, you know, like for real,
right?
But
Good.
that's it. Like, yo, I love it, man. That's it. It's nothing to prove to nobody. I don't care about proving anything to anybody. But I love it, man. That's what keeps me moving, man.
Yeah. Yo, I want to go back to a point though. So you said when all this was going on, you had 4 shops. When did you open the 5th one? Like what? In what part?
That was after my 5th treatment.
Yo,
No. That was after my 6th treatment, when I did the photo of me in ICU, and they see me with the mask, ICU. I get out of it. I was supposed to be in the hospital for 7 days. They said miraculously my white blood cells got out after 2 days. They're like, you could go. I've never really seen that before. I get out. I got a picture on Instagram with looking like a straight up ball, like Moby, looking like that. I got my hands up, you know. And then the next day, I dropped hiring for Naples. Everyone's like, whoa. Yeah. So I got a good team with me too, man. It's not all about me. As I did my last 3 shops, I have a silent partner who's not in the industry that works with me, because it's strength in numbers. You can't do everything for yourself, and I don't need to do it all for myself like that. So, you know, you build up and get the job done. So while I was going through that, you know, he's on the phone. Hey, I got this location like that. So while I'm lying in bed or I'm feeling sick or doing that, hey, thank God for
FaceTime,
Google and all that stuff. You can get work done even when you can't get work done, you know? So even through that, hey, I know you're feeling this, that, but what do you think about that? Sending me pictures, we negotiating deals. So while I was on that, they made it happen.
You feel me?
They got the place. I would get up some days when I was feeling good. I'd get in the car looking like, you know, like a little reptile walking around, driving in the car. I was like, no, I don't feel that one. Yeah, I feel that one, you know? So I was doing what I could do.
Right.
And when it felt good here, I was like, yeah, that's the spot. And I kept that silent, man. Move in silence, right? Wayne said it. You know what I mean? Don't talk about it. Like, just do it. So then even that was another, like the same way I started, I did all these good things. And then the next day, like, damn, this dude got cancer. Obviously, that he knows about it if he getting surgery today. Went through that journey, see me do that, and then say, yo, I'm opening up a shop.
Boom.
And now the people that, good thing I don't do a GoFundMe, because what does everybody think? Oh, I send him a lot of money. He opens up a shop. He's not paying for medical bills.
And they taking credit for what you just did. Yeah.
So I'm doing my shirt, something that they can wear. It's a product.
It's tangible.
You know, they can keep it. So now they seeing me open up a shop. It's like, yo, he ain't asked for nothing. He worked through the whole time. So
no handouts.
Right, none.
Yo, I'm gonna go when I'm working out. I'm gonna go back and listen to this interview for like motivation. Like, for the last jog mile, I got to jog. I'm gonna just listen to Twin just talk.
You're gonna pass out, man. You'll be surprised what you could do, man.
Damn, man.
You'll be surprised what you could do,
bro. I really feel like your story, especially this, you know, within the past year. I really want to have this conversation because I felt like your story, man. Like we all know, like Twin, the barbershop owner. Like,
yeah, for sure.
With you know, but I feel like your perseverance within the past year, your discipline, you know what I'm saying, the loyalty of your team. I feel like that's something that I really want to highlight because, you know, it's damn near movie worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even trying to toot your own horn, but it's like...
Well, Michael B. Jordan actually reached out and everything. One of my barbers who cuts his hair. Yeah, if you look on my fake cancer site right now...
Black Panther.
Right now, go on my fakecancer.org. There's the plug to get the T-shirts. Yeah. And if you look at the bottom and stuff like that, we got the official Supreme Clipper from Andis cutting Michael B. Jordan's hair, used only on him to cut Creed. And it's up on sales to that wherever we auction for, we were going to put towards a charity, towards the St. Jude. And that was going under Fake Cancer. It's up right now. So when he heard about it, too, my guy, Kenny Duncan, who's a lead educator with Andis, and he's a mentor with me in the industry as well, he he said when he spoke to him about it, he was like, that's what he's all about, that perseverance. He was like, yo, that's super dope. Yeah. So he knows about it.
Yeah.
You know, man, give me that phone call, baby. Let's make it happen, you know?
Damn, that's crazy, bro. So, all right. So my thing is like, where do you go from here? Like, what's next? Like, what you got in the works?
Well,
Keep living life.
I'm back, man. I'm back to what my body can build up. So, you know, strength, perseverance, getting my body to where it is. I know it's a challenge. I'm older, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's going to take me a little bit more, but a little by little, you know, do the things I need to do to get my stamina. That's where I'm really at right now. As far as the pain and stuff, I get a few joint pains, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's always that's going to be there. But, you know, the stamina is what's really important for me. So the stamina is inconsistent, me losing some weight, getting back in the gym since right now, the back surgery pretty much cleared me to start some physical therapy.
Okay.
Slowly get into that. I'm on a tour right now, so you know I'm back on the plane doing what I need to do. I'm not behind the chair as much, but I am taking appointments. I haven't put out my info like, you know, my book is completely open.
Right.
But the people that really like my work and know what I was going through, they'll hit me up. Yo, you back in the shop?
Yeah.
And I take what I can take, you know, and I do that. And you know, thank God I worked very hard for the last 10 years of my life, owning a shop and do what I need to do to keep me where I don't have to be that person behind a chair and just staying behind a barber chair because that's my only income.
Right.
So the education and teaching is where I'm at, and you know, more shops, more branding myself, more education, more creating this awareness, whatever I need to speak. I just take it for what it is, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know.
Yeah, that's dope,
it's
man.
worse. I just want to see the kids do good, man.
For sure, bro.
For the kids.
My kids in general and my kids, you know, especially my kids, you know. I want to see all of them, but especially.
How old are your little ones?
My son, he's grown. He's 20. He just graduated school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he just finished barber school. He's working at my Twincutz barbershop now, one on McGregor. He's going to be moving to New York and getting in the hair industry over there, or just getting behind the chair and doing what he needs to do. And then my daughter is starting first grade. So,
great.
You know, and that's another nice thing. You know, I learned being such a workaholic and being like, man, I got to get to work. Now it's like me being forced to not go to work and still being able to survive and pay the bills. You know, because regardless of what you go through in life, man, bills don't stop.
For sure.
People still quit on you. People, you know, like people still gonna, like, if you're not here, people still gonna, you know, I hate to put some people on blast. They're gonna not pay their rent. They're gonna be excuses because you're not there, and you know you got to do what you need to do. That doesn't stop, you know. But I knew, damn, I did a long period of my life, and I'm still here, and I'm still taking care of bills, and I'm still doing what I need to do with the family.
Yeah.
So, hey, I don't work on Saturdays like that unless I'm traveling. Now I can spend more time with my daughter and enjoy those moments a little bit more.
Sure, man.
You know?
All right, man. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely,
Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube, download the app, like the Facebook page. Man, shout out to Twin. Thank you for coming out, man.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you for wearing for the show, man.
All day, man.
You know?
94.9 City Boys, we out.
All right, let's go.